Welcome to Top 5, where we count down all kinds of things. I'm your host, Ayaz Akhtar. Unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably heard of Steve Jobs. Who am I kidding? Even if you do live under a rock, you probably have heard of him. Anyway, there's a new movie about the founder of Apple, penned by Aaron Sorkin and starring Michael Fassbender. How many people have played Jobs? Check out this IMDb page. Today we're counting down the top 5 portrayals of Steve Jobs. You might be wondering, what criteria are you using to judge how Jobs-like an actor was? He's got to be intense, passionate, and kind of a jerk. I'm basing this on what I've read and seen, so let's get to it. At number 5, Justin Long and iSteve. You know Justin Long, right? He was the guy who was the Mac in the I'm a Mac and I'm a PC series of ads. He also starred in iSteve. How was he?
I am Apple!
Well, less than subtle. Since this was a movie made by Funny or Die, it goes for laughs. Case in point, in the scene where Jobs is ousted from Apple, he attempts to convince people to come with him. Instead of using his personality and passion, this Steve Jobs attempts to pick a person up physically to take with him. As the movie progresses, he does start exhibiting Steve Jobs' salesmanship. At number 4, Fred Armisen in various SNL sketches. Yep, I'm putting Fred Armisen on this list. At a time when Apple products were exploding into the public consciousness, you could tell Armisen watched lots of keynotes led by Steve Jobs. There's a bit of that Steve Jobs intensity, but mostly it's his impression of the reality distortion field that gets him on this list. Everything Armisen's Jobs presents is revolutionary and game-changing, even if it's not. At number 3, Ashton Kutcher in Jobs. He bears quite the resemblance to the man himself. Kutcher did a great job capturing Steve Jobs' cadence. He's also got a ton of intensity. So many scenes have Kutcher staring down others, and boy, does he pull off the I'm holding all the cards face. He shows very little softness, but he does show an affinity for Steve Wozniak, played by Josh Gad. Kutcher also shows a look of betrayal over Jobs' removal from Apple that he creates such sympathy for a character who's pretty much a jerk at times. At number 2, Michael Fassbender in Steve Jobs. Alright, at first glance he looks nothing like Steve Jobs, but Fassbender was excellent. In a few flashback scenes, Fassbender disappears, and he shows a lot of range as Steve Jobs. When it came to wooing John Scully away from Pepsi to become the CEO of Apple, Fassbender completely sells the concept of running a computer company. In the rest of the movie, he's a quick-talking, intense, and mercurial character right before a product launch. Fassbender effortlessly says horrible things to human beings, then switches to being funny without it seeming unnatural at all. He was awesome, but narrowly defeated by one man. At number 1, Noah Wyle in Pirates of Silicon Valley. I rewatched Pirates of Silicon Valley to make sure I wasn't just remembering the movie through a biased filter. I'm pretty sure Wyle is the best Steve Jobs on this list. He's smug and passionate while having an air of ease around him. Throughout the movie, Wyle has the look in his eyes that he knows more than everyone else in the room. The performance caught a lot of attention. Wyle even appeared at Macworld's 1999 as Steve Jobs before the real Steve Jobs interrupted him to tell him he's being Steve Jobs all wrong. There you have it, the top 5 actors who played Steve Jobs. If you think Trey Parker of South Park should have been on this list, let me know on Twitter. I'm @Ayaz. For more top 5s like this, and some that aren't like this, check out top5.cnet.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.